And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is called The Spirit of Love.
The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. The value of life lies in flowing with the song of humility. When feeling is pure and dullness gone, you know and realize life cannot be without the spirit of love. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. Let the rivers flow to the sea and enter deep, deep within, feeling like a wave of the endless sea. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart.
We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujyatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is October the 7th, 2020, Wednesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Yoga Vasistha. This is series 2018, class number 280. And now Pujyatman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namam Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast, the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha. Sage Kakabhushunda continued to share his experience of enlightenment with Sage Vasistha. The communication between Kakabhushundi and Sage Vasistha. And subtle communication slips out of this for everyone. Presently, the topic is same as Sthita Prajna Lakshana, the characteristics of one who is enlightened. The purpose of listening to the characteristics is to promote your practice of affirmation. No matter wherever you are in your spiritual progress or evolution, this is a special type of sadhana that each time when you relax your mind, you allow an internal affirmation to enter your mind that I am not the body, I am the immortal self. What you practice in the form of Yoga Nidra, that's a variation of that affirmation. You relax your body, relax everything, and then you start listening to, or reflecting upon, or asserting. Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. You are pure, enlightened. You may not feel that. But that's your sadhana. Practice. Open completely. Keep your mind completely involved with it. It has profound effect. Because when truth is asserted, when you are trying to open even a little crack in your dark room, your effort is never wasted. Because even the little ray of light that comes creates a tremendous change in your dark room. And that change is more profound than your own adjusting your tables and chairs and your candle lights. So that type of adjustment is karmic adjustment. Led by karma, you are adjusting your life. But when you do this spiritual affirmation, promoting practice of vichar, and it automatically involves practice of dhyan, dharana, dhyan and samadhi in a profound way. And pranayam is part of it. Because everything is all together. If think profoundly, your pranas are not going in haywires. They begin to flow more in coordination. Figure it out. When you're happy, your energy flows in your body in a very nice way. But when you're unhappy, agitated, tightening your muscles, sometimes your own teeth, because of anger, your energy goes into different directions. So that aspect of focusing on how to harmonize the pranic currents is a part of your deeper movement of affirmation. With that, we continue now. In this transient world, I am ever calm and undistracted. This pointing to the quality of Shama. I am ever calm, serene, no matter how things go on. The sky is ever calm, no matter how many clouds come. There are so many details. The sky doesn't keep in its diary all the details of how many things are happening. But the sky welcomes them all, as well as sees them all moving away. And the sky holds no record. There's no taint in the sky. That's your deepest level of your essential nature. Your essential nature is pure awareness. Your awareness is always behind every experience you have. Painful experience, you are aware of it. Pain moves away, pleasant experience, awareness. Your experiences continue. They are the story of the world you live through. All are reflections in consciousness. But while dealing with all this, your attention is drawn not towards the reflections, but the very basis, source of all reflections. That is just pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is just like a lake. And when you sit by the lake, you are not seeing the lake, you are seeing the sky, you are seeing the trees, become interested in the squirrel jumping up and down. But all the time, all that you are experiencing because of the lake, all you are experiencing is because of consciousness, pure awareness. And that awareness is your essential reality, called Chit, Chaitanya. That's another way of telling about Brahman, the absolute self. Sat-Chit Ananda. All the three are one and the same. Absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute bliss. They are one and the same. So therefore, if your I am should not be in ahamkar level, that ahamkar ego relates to your limited mind. It's based on asserting your identity that is not true identity. True identity of a reflected sun is the sun. But a reflected sun develops its own identity and egoism about it. That's that egoism I'm talking about. And that egoism is transcended in this type of practice. You are moving away from that egoism to real I am. First point, you must realize what is most interesting in you. Simple answer, when a child will answer, I am. But that I am, Sanskrit called aham, has gone into mayhem. That I am is constantly shaking. You never know what you are. In daily life, go through waking state, dream state, sleep state. In every state, your whole identity changes. In waking state, how you feel, etc. While you are sleeping, from a waking point of view, you are resting, the dream take over. And then you have a totally different world. At that time, you have no contradiction about your reality. You are going after certain object, you are being chased by a dog or a cat. And all types of experiences in your dream. You have absolutely no contradiction in your mind. And you are a wrong person. Your dream identity is not you. But who cares? The whole thing seems so real until you wake up. Or until a sense dawns in your dream that it is a dream. Just like a sense can enter in your dream state. Then your dream becomes a kind of a play, a fun. That is what enlightenment is. You live in the world all the time, it's a long dream. A kind of world where you don't know who you are, what you have gained, what you are going to gain in the world, what you are looking for in the world. You don't have full idea about it, but you are driven by it. And then your experiences of reality in the world is based upon your senses that are limited. You are not real. The world around you is not real. The interacting experience, solving your problems, success and failure, all that is unreal. So that's what I call your aham has gone into mayhem. Allow the aham to get out of this mayhem. And just say aham. Soham. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. O sage, even during the period of great destruction, when the very earth is shattered by the wind of destruction, I am ever absorbed in meditation on prana. The meditation on prana I have already explained to you. It is just a stage that complements and supplements meditation on prana and meditation on mind. Meditation of prana pointing to, if you are prana, your individual prana is linked to cosmic prana. If you are mind, your individual mind links to cosmic mind. So, first type of chintan, harmonize, as you go on harmonizing your prana, you go on presenting to your mind that experience, that all pranic based experience in you is the whole universal plane of prana is operating in your personality like a wave. You are a wave and the universal prana is the ocean. Even in through pranic identity, you are actually identifying with cosmic prana. Similarly, from mind identity, you meditate upon I am all mind, Hiranyagarbha. So that type of practice is described here by Kakabhushundi. It begins with prana level, then enters into mind and chitta level. And both of them are interdependent. And they are actually, from advanced point of view, one and the same. By constant meditation on prana and apana, I have attained the realization of the self. Consequently, I am devoid of grief and sorrow. I do not revel in the objects of the past or future. I am ever intent upon the self, which is ever present. Thus I abide in this kalpaka tree. Allegorically, Kakabhushundi has his residence in kalpaka tree, in one of the branches of the tree. And there he enjoys amazing spiritual perfection and communicates with other birds, shares his knowledge. All this allegorical, don't take it literally. Kalpaka tree is that state where all desires are fulfilled. And becoming a crow is having a double consciousness. I do not revel in the objects of the past or future. Always the mind is constantly operating with past and future. In Sanskrit, past yesterday is called Shwa. Tomorrow is called Shwa. Another word is used in Hindi or Sanskrit, Kal. Kal kya hua? Kal kya hone wala hai? One word kal goes on doing kal. And the kalpaka tree is the ashwatha tree. When this kal movement moves away, no kal. But what's in between the past and the future? That's the eternal self. That's the mystic present, ever-present reality. Just for easy understanding, understand what when you watch the cinema show, frame after frame, in between there is a split of pause. In that split, only the screen shows. But human mind, human intellect, being limited, doesn't care for that. Screen is the reality, even though the show goes on so continuously. Similarly, all your experiences go on continuously. But If your mind begins to develop calmness and real sadhana in a profound way, then you can switch your attention from this kalkal, but go in between the kalkal. And it is given into a very allegorical way, rather even you are introduced to the practice of tratak. You are always, all things that you experience, you are always winking, stopping winking. Now your mind is focusing on neither past nor future. In between the vritti. In between the vritti is eternal reality, absolute self. In between your thought waves, there is a channel that you experience when you go into deep sleep. What you experience in your deep sleep, there is your profounder identity. But that identity is also shaken because it is not absolute. You are still you are identified with your causal body. In the state of enlightenment, you have no restriction. But whether you have restrictions or not, the practice of affirmation becomes your sadhana. And these experiences of dream and sleep, they provide your mind with rationality. That even though all this goes on, you are a different person. That gives you a certain comfort to understand what you are following is in order. I do not revel in the objects of the past or future. I am ever intent upon this self, which is ever present. Thus I abide on the kalpaka tree. And what is being suggested, that thus you are absolutely desireless. There is absolute fulfillment, param tripti. Without expecting any fruit and without developing the notion, I am the doer. I perform those actions that present themselves to me. This doing all your duties in life and all activities without being deluded by the notion, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. That I am has no reality. Therefore, in all mantra japas, you have namah term. Neither me nor mine is implied by the root letters of nama. Then, in order to make this process easier, you have to follow what I always tell you about Hanuman's example. When Rama asks Hanuman, how am I related to you? Deha buddhyatu dasoham. Since this identity with the body is very strong in the practical world, you don't have to suddenly break that identity. It will not be possible. But then you can introduce to your mind that this whole body movement is an instrument in the hands of God. And try to understand, your eyes are not your instruments. Your ears, every part of your body is beyond your imagination. They are all working under divine control. So why do you have to jump up and say, I am given? You are just an instrument. I am a slave, God is the master. So let the master do all the worrying aspect. And you simply live your life with a spirit of dedication. That opens the door for a deeper level. Jiva buddhya sadanshaka. From the point of view of the soul, now you understand, since you are not ego, ahamkar, the idea I am soul, I am a ray, and God is a sun. Now, therefore, a sense of eternity enters your heart, because there is no death for the ray of the sun. The reflected suns don't die because they have no realities. They appear to come and go, but there is no death. And every reflected sun, as it emerges out of the limitation, grows, as it were, to be the sun. A progressive movement of revelation. I am the sun. Ignorant men are ever dominated by the thoughts. This I have gained today, and that which is better than this I will surely gain tomorrow. I am not overpowered by such thoughts. Therefore, I have attained a long, long life. Long, long simply means eternal life, void of sorrow. There is absolute cessation of pain, no sorrow, and absolute extinction of death, no mortality. I do not praise anyone, nor do I censure anyone. Don't take it literally. If people do good things, praise them. And if your child is committing wrong, censure the child. In other words, when you read these things, don't use it literally. In your deeper level of understanding, you remain unshaken by situation that's commendable and the situation that is despicable. All situations will come and go and remain unshaken, because you are not changing in any way because of all this. Jiva buddhya tvadanshaka, atma buddhya tavaiva. Now come to the deepest level of affirmation, I am the Atman, the absolute self, Brahman. So the goal is I am Brahman. But to make the movement simple, first I'm not the body. As body, I am only an instrument in divine hand. As soul, jiva, operating through the mind, I am a ray of God. When you have matured, assimilated these two stages, now you are open to the pure Vedanta. Aham Brahma, I am Brahma. All these are details. My mind is neither elated by desirable objects nor depressed by undesirable ones. I have therefore attained immortality, an absence of sorrow. I have renounced the erroneous sense of duality. Duality means always there is somebody else. You are helpless. You know what to do, but then how can you do it? Because somebody is on your head. I'm joking, but it's always interdependence, living in a world of helplessness. But deepest level of truth, just like in the dream, there are so many things that disturb you. But all the dreams, every object that you see in your dream, from a spider to big mountains, all is your own self who is lying on the bed. Figure that out, but nobody else is there. So, just like you can negate multiplicity of your dream and come to discover you are alone to yourself. You apply the same with the Dirgha Swapana, the long dream of the world. You as Brahman, the absolute self, that self alone exists. The entire world experience is in and through the mental process created by chitta vrittis, thought waves of the mind. And you are always beyond the chitta. When chitta becomes deprived of its nature of conditioning the self, then chitta becomes chit, pure consciousness. When a cloud disperses by the rays of the sun, then what happens? The sun alone remains. The fickleness of my mind is gone. As long as you are trapped by the vrittis of the mind, thought waves, always it's past, future, memories, and what type of dreams you have for your future. Now, this is your practical reality. You must understand. The message is not suddenly give up all that. You can't do that. But even while this experience goes on of your past, your future, allow your intellect to gain certain purity by sadhana. And as intellect gains it, your subtle buddhi, the sanamati develops. So So in spite of all that goes on, a deeper awareness develops in your heart. That awareness, I am, not the body, not the mind. I am related to God. How much? Ultimately, as I have already pointed out, I am Brahman. And that internal revelation should become more and more dominating reality in your own personality. In other words, you will continue to act like anybody else facing practical realities. When I said like anybody else, in appearance. But in deeper level, you will not have the same understanding or experience of yourself. Put it in a very simple way, your personality is like a tree. If you have attained enlightenment, the tree will continue to shake. It will not go into baking state. Shake. Shaking without breaking down allows the roots to become stronger and stronger. So no matter what type of challenging situation, you are deeply rooted, unshaken. This is also described by giving the terms sthiti and avastha. Any spiritual security goes through two stages. First, you have, by your sadhana, you have come to the grip of a higher level and you are sticking to it. But while you are sticking to the higher level, you have to also correct the lower levels that have been restrictive before. So, without losing the grip over the higher level, you allow yourself to come down and up, shake a little, and go through all that. That's called avastha. You live in your own house steadily, that is your sthiti. But if you are moving from one hotel to another, avastha. But what can you do? This is the vyavastha. I see with equal vision a piece of wood, a mountain, a straw, fire, snow, the sky, or any object of the world. With equal vision. Here again, Vedanta is all this is Brahman, Brahmamaya Jagat. To make it easier for your mind and more effective in your sadhana, bring to your mind statements like Siya Ram Mai Sab Jag Jani. The entire world is filled with Rama and Sita. Rom Rom Mein Ram Rama Hai. In every pore of your personality, Rama is abiding. Kan kan mein Ghanshyam छिपा है. In every particle there is Krishna. This type of practice leads you ultimately to the Vedantic understanding, Aham Brahmasmi. And then, to your view, speaking from a relative point of view, there is not, all that exists is nothing but Brahman. To put it in a very simple way to understand, you see in so many pots, reflected suns are in different conditions. In one it is shaking, in another it is not so shaking but not shining much. In another one there is another story. But if you are wise, you are not worried about it because the same sun. So that type of understanding is equal vision. And that equal vision is a characteristic of enlightenment. Old age and death do not frighten me, nor do the pleasures of royal fortunes tempt my mind. Therefore, I have attained immortality, untouched by the changing objects of the world. O sage, do not consider anyone my friend or enemy. I do not consider anyone as my friend or enemy, nor am I affected by the knowledge of differences in the form of this is mine and this belongs to somebody else. Therefore, I have attained immortality, devoid of afflictions. I regard the entire existence as the reflection of the divine self. The entire world process is Chidabhas, Chit, pure awareness, reflecting. Appearance, just like mirage is abhas, is an appearance. The entire world is appearance. The reality behind the world is Chit. The world is Chidabhas. Supreme reality, Brahman, is behind all names and forms. That Brahman is without beginning and end. I have discovered, I have realized my very self as Brahman. Therefore, I am unaffected by disease or death. Whether I receive an object or give it away, whether I am standing or sitting, getting up or lying down, awake or asleep, I never consider myself as this gross physical body. Therefore, I have attained freedom from death and disease. These are all affirmations to be entertained by your mind. Just like we entertain so many affirmations when the news media gives you so many informations or the gossips from the people. The mind is always a terrible room for lots of worldly affirmation. Create a room where you can allow spiritual affirmations to enter. Just as a person regards both of his arms equally, in the same manner, I regard all objects, whether desirable or undesirable, to be all alike to me. This is advanced state of mind. Prasannatam yanagata abhishekata tathana mamle banavas dukkata. Tulsidas ji says about Rama that when throne was being given to him, he didn't show any over elation. His mind, his face is always cheerful, but he didn't show any elation. And when he was sent away to forest, he remains the same. That again not to be taken literally as a facial expression, but allegorically, he remains unshaken. Such an unshaken state of Rama's face, may that face promote auspiciousness in our life. May every day become a tender shoot of auspiciousness. On all occasions, at all places, I am ever established in the vision that I am the Self that abides in all living beings. Aham Brahmasmi. Also realize Ghat Ghat mein hai Sai Ramata. In every individual, same Brahman exists. So no one can you dispel that, let this person go to hell. Freed of all crookedness of mind, I have attained a deathless existence. That's the real goal of life. To be free of the virus of death, Mrityu virus. I have renounced the mire of the ego sense. I do not consider this body from the head to the toes as mine. This is the reason why I have attained an unimaginable extension of life, devoid of disease. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukam bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. And blessings for all of you. Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Please remember that in 2 days from tonight, on Friday, October 9th, for 10 days until Sunday, October 18th, our regular program will be altered, and we'll be focusing on Mother Worship, Navaratri Puja, worship of God, the form of the Divine Mother. So prepare your heart. Devi Durga is already on her way.